Why do we long to have our own business? Opening hook. Have you ever looked at your job and thought, I don't want to do this forever? Maybe you don't even hate your job. Maybe your boss is fine. Maybe the paycheck is fine. Maybe everything is technically okay, but there's still this little voice in the back of your mind saying, I want something of my own, something with your name on it, something you created, something you control. But why? Why do so many of us have this desire to work for ourselves? Is it really about money? Or is there something much deeper happening underneath that desire? Let's unlock it. Part one of we want control. One of the biggest reasons people dream about having their own business is control. When you work for someone else, a lot of your life is structured around someone else's decisions. When you work, what you're responsible for, how things are done, when you take time off, and sometimes even how much your time is worth. And there's nothing inherently wrong with working for someone else, but humans have a strong desire for autonomy. We want to feel like we're making choices about our own lives. That's why the idea of being your own boss can feel so powerful. It's not necessarily that you don't want to work. You may simply want to have more control over what you're working toward. And that's an important difference, because entrepreneurship doesn't eliminate work. It changes your relationship with the work. Part two of we want ownership. There's another reason we long to build something of our own, ownership. Think about how different it feels to build something yourself. Maybe it's a business. Maybe it's a clothing line. Maybe it's artwork. Maybe it's a YouTube channel. Maybe it's an invention sitting on a piece of paper that nobody else has ever seen. You put your ideas into it, your time, your creativity, your mistakes, your skills, and eventually you can look at it and say, I made that. There's something deeply satisfying about that, because we're not just looking for things to consume. Sometimes we want to create. We want physical evidence that our ideas can become real, and that little feeling of ownership can be incredibly motivating. Part three, we want meaning. But sometimes the desire for your own business isn't really about being your own boss. It's about wanting your work to mean something. You can work hard every day and still wonder, what am I actually building? You complete the tasks, you collect the paycheck, you go home, then you wake up and do it all over again. And for some people, eventually that routine starts to feel empty, not because the work is necessarily bad, but because they don't feel connected to it. Creating something of your own can change that feeling. Suddenly, your work is connected to something personal, your creativity, your ideas, your values, your goals, your vision. And that's when work can begin to feel less like something you're simply doing and more like something you're building. Part four of, we want to see our potential. There's another layer to this. Sometimes we don't just want our own business. We want to discover who we could become. Think about that for a second. There's the person you are today, and then there's the person you believe you could become. Maybe more confident, more independent, more creative, more disciplined, more courageous. Starting something of your own can become a test of that potential. You have to learn things you've never learned. You have to make decisions. You have to fail. You have to try again. And slowly you begin discovering abilities you didn't know you had. So sometimes the business isn't just the destination. It's the vehicle that changes you along the way. You're not only building a business, the business is also building you. Tune in next week where we unlock more of the mind.